Alright guys, so today I'm gonna be exclusively talking on how to get better at Siege, if you still care for the game. For the most part, whenever I do play the game for like an extensive amount of time, I tend to be good at it. You know, I may not be the best, there's other people who are clearly better. But yeah, for the majority of the time, I am a controller player, so you know you're very restricted when it comes to being a controller player in this game, especially on consoles. And now being like year 7, where you know probably like around 50% of the people you run into a ranked game with or against are definitely going to be Zim or just M and K in general, or just different kinds of cheats. To be honest, the game is just filled with a bunch of cheats. But today we're just going to be talking about essentially recoil control, especially with the new meta, especially with a lot of the buffs that have been going on, the new guns, or not the new guns, sorry, but like the R4C, Zophia's AR, you know, things like that. Also the suppressor meta, which is going to be a very not a lot of people are using suppressor right now as it is, but I guarantee you within a few weeks, a few days, you know, people are going to start using suppressor more, because they're going to see that on some guns it does reduce the recoil, but for the most part the initial shot has a kick here. Let me get into the learning area real quick and show you guys what I mean by that. Alright, so the first operator that we're going to use here is of course probably Ash, since her recoil did get fixed. Before it was not too bad. I still control it. For the most part, it's a lot better now. You can actually, I have tested the recoil on PC, and it's a bit different. For the most part here, I'm gonna show you guys my sense, so you guys know what I'm working with here. It's 3890. It's pretty quick. For the most part, being a controller player. My ADS is 30 standard. I know a lot of people like to use different senses for different magnifications of the scope. For the most part, I've always liked standard, even with the new update when it rolled out. I've always stuck with 30, always. Well, actually, no. I've adjusted my, my sense to be quicker over time. So I hired up the horizontal sense, but at the same time I lowered down my ADS. So my ADS used to be super high, and then this used to be a little bit lower. But for the most part, I started to learn how to control the recoil on all the guns. So right now, R4C, this is the setup that I got most comfortable with since the new update came out. I don't usually use Ash a lot, but this is like the setup that I have going on. It's not that bad. I am running an Elite controller, so I do have certain settings that accommodate to the the joystick. I prefer the extended joystick, and I do use I use a control freak, sorry. And you see how the initial shots kind of get like a bigger spray. If I clear it, I'll try to control it a little bit better. But for the most part, it's just a vertical line. Okay, bear with me. This is literally, I'm just hopping on in the morning. This is first shots on, so it might give me a little bit of time to just try to control the recoil. Okay, having a rough time here, control the recoil. Alright, so we're gonna start with the R4C recoil control. Let's get a practice spray going here. Yeah, and you wanna, if you haven't really gone into recoil control as much into this game, you need to start practicing that. At least, start learning the recoils of all the guns that you like to use. You don't necessarily have to learn all of them, but for the most part, with this new update, most of the recoil has gone to just vertical. Not a lot of horizontal spray. So look, I'm gonna show you guys a quick spray real quick. And that's from what, 10 meters? Do like a 20-meter test. Should be a little bit worse because. Alright, so see, that's the first spray going on, and you just kind of adjust. Now this is what I like to run, right? This is my preferred setup. But if you go, let's say you go with the vertical grip or flash hider, right? These are the more common, you know, attachments. See, now I pull down a little bit too much because I'm using suppressor recoil. And for the most part, you know, it's dead accurate. I don't really like to test down, but let's go to this one. Let's go to dummy. For the most part, look, I hit 28 out of 30 bullets, so my recoil control isn't. You guys can see recoil control. It's actually better on a dummy. I don't know why I do so horrible on like the. If I have a target, it's easier to shoot. I got. Yeah, I just hit most. I think I hit all my clip right there. But you guys get the gist. The R4C is really back in general. Again, F2, one of the more commonly used guns. It's not that hard to control. So yeah, it's mostly side to side sway, at least with the suppressor. I have been using the suppressor a lot more, especially, you know, since I've actually always used suppressors. Not a lot of people like them or liked them before the new update came out, as they reduced, you know, damage, and the recoil spray was a little bit wonky, depending on the operator or the gun that you used. Again, it's probably nothing new. You guys have probably seen this. Flash hider. Flash hider is a preferred, you know, barrel when it comes to the F2. Yeah, it's 26 out of 26. So recoil control is key in this game. It may not affect the whole like style of your play, but it does affect like long range gunfights. Depending on the gun that you have, you might lose some gunfights. So, like I said, just practice with what you feel comfortable with. Especially if you're, you know, if you're trying to adapt to the game, learn the game a little bit more. This is mostly for like the lower rank people, because, you know, as soon as you get to the higher ranks, most people know the recoil patterns, most people know the recoil spray, you know, things like that. And for the most part, at least in my experience, aim isn't really what, you know, gets you the win. It does get you kills, don't get me wrong. I've seen a couple of people that, you know, just really frag out, especially because aim is, you know, nice. But for the most part, I don't really like to take recoil control into a factor, like a huge factor. It is like a factor, it's just not a huge one. So what you want to do is, if you want to, you know, just hit the shooting range. You want to hit the shooting range to test out recoil patterns for the different guns that you like. And over time, let's just do a quick. So what you want to do, you just follow this pattern. So it's just kicking. So you want to just pull down and to the right. Usually follow that. You follow the guideline, which you spray onto the wall. It should get you a perfectly good spray. It should get you a good idea of the recoil for the gun. So now, once you have this down, I am gonna put like a part 2 for this, or not for this especially, but just in general, on how to really you know, get up to the higher ranks, or just giving you guys some tips and tricks, you know, from at least from what I learned in the years playing this game, in the days, you know, that I put in. With that being said, guys, this is just gonna wrap up the video for me. If you guys want to comment and, you know, ask me questions in the comment section, just any tips that you guys would want, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna post a part 2 type-ish, like it's gonna be like a little series that I'm gonna do. So just let me know what you guys would want tips and tricks or advice on, at least from my, you know, personal experience. I hope you guys learned a thing or two from watching this video.